Chapter 1. Why Not? Montana Territory, July 1888. Justin Wesley, Deputy Sheriff of Why Not, nodded amiably to the passing riders as he walked along the boardwalk. He enjoyed the rustic frontier community. Nothing much out of the ordinary happened here aside from an argument between merchants or rowdiness in the saloon. Today, the town was quiet, but felt even more so, since all the hullabaloo from almost 2 months before. First, Flood McCutcheon's historic birthday party occurred. Second, a twister threatened to blow Why Not off the map. Justin had been at home, playing checkers with his father, the day a hellish, howling wind sent twigs and pebbles pattering violently on the windows and roof. Carly, his little sister, ran down the stairs from her bedroom and crawled into their father's arms, her eyes the size of harvest moons. Aunt Pauline had dashed from the kitchen, dishcloth in hand. His 3 family members had followed him to Why Not from Denver a year earlier when he'd accepted the deputy position from Sheriff Crawford, and they'd not seen such a storm since. Curious, they'd stepped outside to find the day was black as night and had a greenish tint churning the clouds. Seconds later, the roaring wind swallowed every sound. The sky had opened with force, battering everything with huge drops of rain and hail. Justin smiled, shaking his head, thankful the tornado had veered right at the last second, leaving him a town to watch over. Pushing through the batwing doors of the Hitching Post saloon, he went to the bar where Abe, clipboard in hand, was taking inventory. The bartender's slender frame always reminded Justin of a banty rooster. The establishment was deserted. The piano sat quiet on the far wall. The scent of fresh brewed coffee mixed with aromas of stale sweat and horse manure. "Mornin', Abe," he said, leaning his elbow on the long walnut bar top. Abe made 2 hash marks next to a column. Justin stifled a grin. The Hitching Post wasn't like the large saloons he'd known in Denver, with men crammed into every crevice. He wondered if Abe went through 2 cases of whiskey a month. "Deputy?" Justin bobbed his head and chuckled. "Inventory time. Don't let me distract you." No more than 5 hash marks were on his sheet. Abe glanced up sharply. "Young pup, you got to know your numbers. A man who don't soon'll be parted from his profits. Even if that ain't much." The barkeep was right. He should have kept his mouth shut. "Sorry, Abe, didn't mean any disrespect." Abe laid aside his work, the irritation on his face a moment before now gone. "I didn't mean to bite your head off either, Justin. Been slow is all, with so many fellers out of town. What can I do you for? Beer? Whiskey?" Abe was just being polite. He knew Justin didn't drink while on duty. "Just a glass of water. My throat is a mite parched." Abe's smile was back. "Temperature's rising all right. Gonna be a hot summer. Water coming right up." 3 fellas appeared in the doorway. Sam Green, Dennis Oates, and Chet Fender. The boozers nodded as they staggered by and went to a table in the middle of the room. Dennis ran a hand through his thinning brown hair and then broke out a deck of cards. "Beers, Abe," he called as he shuffled. "That we have," Abe responded. He plunked Justin's glass of water on the bar and went for the mugs. "How's Brandon doing?" he asked over his shoulder, filling the first mug. "Heard tell he's still woozy." Abe shook his head. That break was a doozy. If Brandon's accident wasn't so serious, he'd smile at Abe's humor. As it was, Brandon had taken a mean fall from a ladder and broken his left femur. The break was clean, or so said the doctor, and given a good prognosis.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.